Okay, so you can sit in any posture of your choice, virasana, cross-legged, you can sit in a chair if your knees are bothering you. And the main thing is that you feel comfortable and that you're not struggling to sit up tall. And just sense that you're arriving to this seat as though it was for the very, very first time. So much of our lives we spend in habitual patterns. And then see, let this be one instruction today, just one huge instruction. And that's to step out of the trance, and it is a trance, of thinking, judging, doing, planning, and becoming. Step out of that trance and feel yourself sitting. If your feet are on the floor, you can feel the ground underneath the feet. Your buttocks are in contact with the earth. You can feel the buttocks firmly, those touchstones, touch points connected to the earth. And allow the earth to hold you, to support you. So there really isn't anything to do or to think or to judge or to plan or to become. Feel that quality of stability, of dignity, of nobility. And remind yourselves that it's always there, always present to come back to. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. May I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist. Until all sentient beings are enlightened, I vow to be here to serve them all. These particular words are so powerful and poignant at this point in time. And then when you're ready, lift your gaze, allow your eyes to open, and stretch out your legs. So as I said, on Tuesday, some of you were here last Tuesday, I had mentioned working with the groin and going to Supta Padangusthasana 2, eventually holding the big toe or the side of the foot. So that's what today is about. So I've devised a sequence, kind of leading to that, but make no mistake, if you can't hold the foot, then not wise to, but I will explain how one only holds the foot, not at the expense of shortening or contracting that groin. So we're going to start in Supta Swastikasana. It feels like we haven't done this in quite some time. You can use a belt to bring your heels closer in. Of course, those of you, this is particularly problematic for people who have knee issues. So I like to start just supine. You can have head support. You can stretch your legs to 90, either leg, and bring the heels in as close to the buttock. So Lindsay V, for you, you walk the heels further out, right? And open up those frontal groins. So this is more about frontal groin opening top to bottom and side to side. Today, we're going to do a lot of side to side. Okay, so we'll start in Supta Swastikasana. It's a nice pose to start in. If the knees bother you in this pose, then do Supta Baddha Konasana or even a straight leg Paryankasa. Okay. And then we'll have the arms out to the sides. Yeah, if you cannot get the heels right in line or close proximity to the buttock bones, then walk the heels out. That's fine. Okay, and then settle in. That's good, Lumna. Okay, now extend the arms overhead. Lumna, you're in a different, you don't have the dowel there to reach for the dowel. Okay. Yeah, Turn the arms, yes, Peggy, good. Use one arm as we did last week. Turn the skin, turn that skin. Because it's so easy for the arms to bend when you're supine overhead. So use one hand to turn the skin, harden through the elbow and extend through the fingertips, and then hold your arms in Baddha Hasta, and then we'll repeat with changing the cross. That's good, Lindsay. Again, if it's challenging on the knees, yes, some of you are in Supta Baddha Konasana, I can see that's fine. Now take the arms down by the side, just observe which leg is in front, you're going to change. So the very best way is to unleash the legs, bring the feet flat. Once again, take the legs to 90, unfold the backs of the knees. We did that lesson on Tuesday and Friday of last week, and then change the cross. And then you'll reach the arms overhead, again, turning the skin. If you have a dowel or a brick, you can palm it. Elbows firm. Good. And then, of course, you'll go to the change in the bound hand position. This is a particularly good lesson on a hot day. So find out in taking your arms to Baddha Hasta, did you lose length in your outer armpits? That's why it's good to extend through the inner arms, then change the cross. Good. All right. Keep the length in the side ribs. Be mindful of not overarching in your lower spine. Good, Marina. All right, now place the feet flat on the floor for symmetry. Take the arms down by the side and then just drop the knees as you were doing, Lindsay, be side to side. That quasi-jetter, just side to side. Just with movement, good. The knees come to the floor, that's fine. And then after you've done a few rounds, you're going to sit upright. You can do it freestanding or near a wall in Upavishta Konasana. And do this more to unfold the legs than to get the maximum distance between the feet. So the first, just do this unfolding of the legs using the floor. Feel the floor, which is a nice metric of this pose, is such that you can unfold the legs because all of your leg is in contact with the floor, just from the feet. You're just sitting in Upavishta Konasana, unfolding the legs. Marina, that's fine to do Adho Mukha Svanasana as well. Okay, now, especially those of you who are at the wall, take the legs back to Dandasana, come into Baddha Konasana if you need the wall, because it's just easier to do Baddha Konasana against the wall with a blanket, take it. Baddha Konasana. And here we're really beginning to work on that reaching aspect of the inner thighs, the knees moving away from each other as the feet strongly press into each other. So you're creating maximum distance between the sides of your pubic bone and your inner thighs. Note that in the first Baddha Konasana, it can be challenging. It will get easier, especially after when we do Parshva Kanchanasana. And now take the legs back to Dandasana, repeat Upavishta Konasana. Be a little bit easier now. You can go a little bit wider. Glue the legs to the floor, and this time take the arms up. Keep the arms straight. If the arms are coming slightly forward, go a little bit further out to the side. Decentralize. That's good, Marina. The back is absolutely shoulders over the hips. Okay, now take the arms down and come into Baddha Konasana. If you remember which leg you took in first, of course, if you're right dominated, you probably, if you didn't remember or poignantly noted that you took the right leg in, then likely that you did take the right leg in and take the left. And then widen the thighs away. Strongly press the feet and use the pressure of the feet coming together to increase the distance between the sides of the pubic bone and your inner thigh. And then lift your pelvis up and see if you can move the buttock bones that enjoy the close proximity of the knees and Supta Swastikasana closer to your heels, so that actually the heels will touch your pubic plate, your perineum. You're really going for the maximum Baddha Konasana now. It's good. And now stretch out your legs, Dandasana, and then take a belt. So we're going to do the Supta cycle 1 and 2, and then we're going to do it with movement 1, 2, 4, and back to 2. All right, so you can do it freestanding. I know many of you have used the wall over the past many weeks. All right, so in Supta 1, unlike the way we did it on Friday, we're not going to the max yet, okay? So we're going to, I'll just show you from this view. So we'll come into 1, and then you're going to decentralize the left leg and take the right leg out to the side. And the thing is, as you all know, the final pose, the foot, you're holding the foot, and the foot is in level with the right hand. That means there has to be a lot of opening in the groin here. So don't go to your maximum yet. Lana, did you have a question? Okay. Lubna, where are you? Are you in a different place?
Same room, but different angle.
Oh.
I was got rid of some furniture, so I have more space.
Yeah, I didn't know if you was the same room. It's an awfully big room. Okay, here we go. You know what, guys, sorry, I should have said this because, you know, talk about habits. Get in the habit of doing Dvipada first before. So, you know, I alluded to this last week about symmetry and asymmetrical poses. As you get older, it's important to do symmetrical, asymmetrical, come back to symmetrical. It's really good on the joints. So take Dvipada first, then Ekapada, then go to Supta 1. It's just a good habit, okay? Lindsay, I hope that coffee is good. All right, take the leg. Yeah, that's it. Good, Peggy. Yeah. All right, then the belt comes on. And, you know, vary the belt position as we've talked about so many times. Then starting at 90 for evenness in ribs, evenness in pelvis, move the leg. Don't you do, so we're in Supta 1, just move the leg toward the chest. You can hold the big toe, that's fine, but if you know, you don't have to go to the final. We did that last week. Remember that deep dive. By the way, you know, people have enjoyed that lesson that we did on Friday. I think Fridays was much better than Tuesdays, but the deep dive into Parsvottanasana is on the website. Good. Legs are straight. Unfold the back of the leg. Marina, right above the knee if you can. Yeah, and extend. Make it a double action, reaching from the inner knee to the inner heel. Keep the side ribs in. So you're in Supta 1 where the leg is perpendicular to the floor, not out to the side yet. Just 1. Unless you're not doing 1 for a reason. All right, now decentralize the left leg, hold the belt, turn the arm from the inside out, and now take the right leg out to the side. Right arm is straight, right leg is straight, left leg is a smidge out of the median line. And now imagine you were looking at your own right groin, right? That right groin from the right side of the pubic bone to your inner thigh. How wide is it? Now just imagine, but don't do this. Look at your foot, see it's parallel to the floor. Just imagine your hand was actually holding the big toe as you're doing, Lindsay, or the outer edge of the foot. Just imagine that. Now, when most people do that, yes, they hold the foot, and that's fine. And sometimes we want to do that, but not at the expense of the groin contracting, losing that length. So that's what we're exploring today. Remember, stay heavy in the left side of your body by reaching out through your inner left arm. Okay, now take the leg up. I hope that was clear, because that's what we're doing today. We're hoping to get to the final Supta 2, but not at the expense of shrinking or decreasing the distance between the two sides. I should say that small space from the right side of the pubic bone to the top of the thigh. Okay, now take Dvipada again for symmetry, and then Ekapada left knee in, and then Supta 1 left leg up. And no need to go to the maximum unless you can easily. Beth, for you and Lindsay, perhaps on this left side, that's fine. But, more importantly, we did that last week. Make it a process. This could be early for you in the morning. And it may not be easeful to hold the big toe. Good, Carla. That's it. Okay, move the leg. But remember, the metrics have to, when you move the legs are straight, the abdomen drawing back in Supta 1. Now, keep the arm straight, the left arm, extend through your right arm, resist with the right side. So peel your abdomen. I gave this instruction 2 weeks ago, turn. This will help many of you not go with the left leg, turn from the left to the right and then out to the side. Now imagine you're looking at yourself from an aerial view. Imagine you were indeed holding the big toe, left big toe, or the baby toe side of the foot. All right, if you are holding that, the leg would be higher, it's true, but would the groin continue to remain open? So that's the work, that's what the sequence is about. So we will come back to this pose, maybe about 8 poses in. All right. Now take the leg up, and then we're going to do 1, back to 1, 2, a 4 in any iteration, and then back out to 2, because 4 improves 2. So it could look like this, watch. It could be 1, 2. Say you decide to do 4 in the figure 4 iteration like this, and then back out to 2. Or it could be 1, 2, 4, and then 2, okay? So whatever iteration you're working on in 4, because people's hips are different, and we're doing it all to the right and then all to the left, all right? And observe when you go from the 4 back to the 2, how it improves, but stay a little bit longer than I did. So it's 1, back to 1, which should be a little bit more easeful. Yes, take Dvipada, Ekapada 1, and then go out to 2, staying for about 30 seconds on each iteration. Maybe the foot's a little bit higher up toward the right hand. Then go to 4, whichever iteration you're doing, you can hook under. Carly, you can hook under the forearms or do the figure 4. Remember to get the shin parallel with the collarbones to open up the corner of the outer right hip. Because you're opening up the hip in 4, it's easier to do 2. That's good, Gail. And then out to the side. That's Ilana. Yeah, can use the strap or the forearms underneath the shin. Now go back out to 2 and be interested. Is the foot any amount higher up? And then be interested, maybe the leg's higher up toward the right hand, but is that groin maintained its length? Okay, and then take the leg up, take Dvipada. Feet flat on floor, yeah, or feet flat on floor, then Dvipada, and then Ekapada, left side, and then Supta 1, so it'll be 1, 2, 4, 2, staying 30 seconds each side. Okay, so here's your 1. Good, Beth. And then 30 seconds later, 2, out to the side. Know the mission at hand, which is to open up the groin. Yes, the foot, think of it more as opening up the groin than taking the foot higher. You will be able to take the foot higher toward the left hand, holding big toe or baby toe when that groin is open. Okay. And then 4 on the left side when you're ready. Any iteration, if this left hip is tighter, then go to the more easeful iteration of the figure 4. And then, or you can do forearms underneath or full pose where the left foot is in the crook of the foot is in the crook of left foot in the right elbow, and the left arm is going around behind your back. Good. Or you can hold the strap. Okay, now enjoy 4 as a pathway, because now the hip is opening, the external lateral rotators, Now from 4, go out to 2 with ease and enjoy the freedom. Again, decentralize the right leg because it makes it easier not to go with the left. Okay, now back to Dvipada. Feet on the floor. Okay, and then with feet on the floor, roll to a side. Take another Upavishta Konasana. Adjust from the feet. You'll probably feel much wider now because the 1, 2, 4. Be mindful of not pushing the abdomen forward. Okay, so the trunk is upright. And then again, raise the arms. And now hold the outer edges of the feet or the big toes, but don't let the legs lose the contact with the floor. And then kick the dorsal spine in. So if you're looking at yourself from the side on the screen, the upper back is not rounding, right? The trapezius is not falling on the cervical spine. And then look forward from the bridge of the nose so you're not getting that bend at that OA joint that I spoke of on Friday. The OA joint at the base of the skull where the cranium meets the cervical. Okay, and now take the legs back to Dandasana. All right, we're going to do a few standing poses. Starting with Utthita Trikonasana. If anyone has hip issues, you can do Trikonasana, as you know, on a diagonal. All right, so stand in Samastiti and jump or step the feet wide apart. Remember, if you're doing it on diagonal, the right leg is forward and the left leg is behind. Take enough stance between the 2 feet that you can elongate the spine. Stretch out the arms, turn the right leg out, left leg turns in. And now keeping the legs straight, which should be easeful, having just done Upavishta Konasana, come into Utthita Trikonasana. Bring weight to the big toe side of the foot. The weight wants to roll out, don't let it. Good. Utthita Trikonasana to the right. And now inhale, come up. And now Utthita Trikonasana to the left. Turn the left leg out. If you need to come back to Tadasana, that's fine. Turn the left leg out, right leg in. Okay, and now, yeah, keep drawing up, Beth, from that outer left knee to the hip so that the back of the knee is unfolded. All right, come into Utthita Trikonasana. Some of you could go a little bit wider. Lindsay V, it's the eye. So if you're doing, remember with on the diagonal, the left leg is in front and then the right leg's behind it. The opposite, yeah. Come into Utthita Trikonasana. Make sure, Lindsay, and for you that you're lifting the pelvis up off the femur head. Okay, and now press the feet, inhale, up you come. Let's do Ardha Chandrasana at a wall. I'm just using this dresser because it's right in front here. So just imagine this were a wall. You'll take a block because I want you to really get the groin action, and it's much easier when you're supported against the wall than to fumble, for lack of a better word, with balance. So you're coming into Ardha Chandrasana against the wall. So I want you to really open up this groin of the aerial leg side to side and lift your pelvis off the femur head. Lift your pelvis off the femur head so the trunk is facing straight on, okay? Ardha Chandrasana against a wall. If you don't have a wall, Lana, you can do this freestanding. Those of you who find it easeful, that's a good place, Carl, yeah. All right, both legs are straight. Open up the groin, side to side. You'll really feel the groin of the standing leg opening from top to bottom, or I should say from bottom to top. Good, that's it, Beth. Now, Beth, shift the weight slightly forward or bring the block a little bit back a bit toward the toes of the right foot. Let your buttock be aligned with your heel. Good, that's it, Lana. Good, Lindsay, yeah, good. Excellent, that's it, Peggy. All right, out you come, good call. These look really good. Out you come, other side. Do this for the groin. So, we took the freestanding, although some of you did do it freestanding, out of the struggle to balance, quote unquote. So I really want you to feel the opening of the groins in this pose. Pull up, lift the pelvis off the femur head of the right leg, open up the groin of the aerial leg side to side. Sense, good gal, sense that your trunk is more in a back bend. Imagine you had a trestle, this apparatus behind you, and you were kind of rolling over. That's the feeling in Ardha Chandrasana in the spine. Well done. Okay, and now bend the right and left leg a little bit. All right, now we're coming and we're using Parsvakonasana as the platform for other standing poses. So this pose, as you know, we've done this a lot. So I just want to say this once again. The knee, my right knee is pretty much in line with my hip. So I want to have it slightly higher. So there's a kind of a downward slope from knee to hip. So some of you, not everybody, will need a block. And the ideal way to put the block on the chair so you don't slip off the chair is to have the mat on, okay? That's good, Mary Beth. See that the foot is in line underneath the knee, but also the foot of the stone. It's common when people do this the first time, the foot is too far out. See that your left foot is directly under this groin. All right, now here's the main event here. Sense this knee, inner knee, is moving away from this hip. It's like Baddha Konasana, you're reaching. You're increasing the distance between the sides of the pubic bone and your inner thigh. That's true. But a better action, a better instruction, I would say, is to move this knee away from this hip. So put your thumb and index finger at the indent of the left leg and send, it's not going to be a gross action. This knee is moving away. When you sense that this right knee is moving away from this left hip, you will indeed increase the distance. That's good, Carla. That's what makes this pose so effective to the rest of the sequence. These look really good. And now make sure, good, Marina, make sure the buttock flesh of the right, so I'll just show it from the back. This buttock flesh, it'll be your right leg, is not hiking up, but moving down. But when it moves down, make sure that the thigh of the standing leg is not coming forward, because the tendency is to pull down on the aerial leg and push the standing left thigh forward. Don't do that. Okay, stay there and sense that you're increasing. Like if you first started out and the distance between the sides of the pubic bone and the inner thigh was a ½ inch, now it's 3 inches. Okay, and now mindfully step down, change sides, mindfully. Okay. The two sides may be different. Block to get the downward slope of the left knee to the root of the thigh. That's good. Reach the left knee away from the corner of the right hip. Marina, you can, yeah. So if the groin is restricted in any way, what's going to happen to the chest? The chest is going to become angular, right? So if just say you have a left tighter side groin, you'll find that the trunk is pivoting to the left. So you have to extend more the left knee from the outer hip and then turn left to right. Make sure your trunk is facing forward. So Lana, your trunk is facing then the wall. Most of you are facing the screen. So use Parsva Akunchanasan. You'll see in a moment when we could do Virabhadrasana 2, where the trunk is absolutely upright. And the groins are open side to side. Now, good, Carla. Now, mindfully step down. If you find it hard to step down, then you can pivot, face the chair, and then step down. Okay, now come back to Tadasana, and we're doing Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, jump or step the feet wide apart. Just take the arms up to get length, out to the side, turn the right leg out. All right, now be aware of where is the front right armpit. Okay, keep it in its place and then just bend like you did in Pajra Kunshanasana. Bend your right leg so the knee is over the ankle. Remember the width across your pubic plate in Upavishta Konasana. Don't let the trunk tip forward. Look at yourself in the screen and make your trunk upright. Virabhadrasana 2 to the right. And now inhale, that's good, Lindsay. Come up and change sides. Some of you can go a little wider in the legs, a little bit wider. All right, anchor the back heel, reach the arms up, then out to the sides. Okay, now from here, keeping the left armpit in its place, sit down. If you want to work with movement, that's fine. Watch that knee, don't let the knee turn in. Look at your own left knee. The four corners should not be turned in. They should be facing the opposite wall and then go down. See if you can do all this with the back leg straight. That's good. Some of you are working with movement. All right, make your chest stand up, upright. Pajra Kunshanasana taught you that. Okay, now inhale up, you come. All right, now watch. We're going to do Virabhadrasana 2 to Uttita Trikonasana. So you'll come back and we're doing to the right. I like to put my hands on the indents. So I'm going down to Virabhadrasana 2 and then straightening the two legs and forming Uttita Trikonasana to the right. So Virabhadrasana 2, drawing the femur back to Uttita Trikonasana. Okay? All right, so when you're ready, take the legs wide apart. All right, outstretch the arms. Actually, turn the palms up, get the shoulder blades flat on the back, and then bring the hands back to parallel, so they're facing the floor. Turn the right leg out 90 from the root of the thigh, and now sit down. Remember Pajra Kunshanasana. Virabhadrasana 2. Trunk is upright. Okay, now press the feet. Draw up. You can put your right hand on the right shin, draw up from the outer right knee to the hip, plug the hip. So now you're straightening the leg back into Uttita Trikonasana. Back to Uttita Trikonasana. Virabhadrasana 2 to Uttita Trikonasana. And now inhale, up you come. All right, come back to Tadasana, mountain pose, Samastiti. Jump the feet wide apart. The reason to come back to Tadasana is actually unknowingly, we walk in a little bit as we go from right side to left side. So just be aware of that. Okay. Jump or step the feet wide apart. Turn the arms, palms up, shoulder blades flat, palms down, turn left leg out, turn right foot in, Virabhadrasana 2. Think Pajra Kunshanasana, it'll be more easeful. Remember the work at hand is to open the groin from the sides of the pubic bone, reaching out, but remember to lift both sides of the pubic bone up so you're not pushing the abdomen forward. Now press the feet, draw back, straighten the left leg, straighten the left leg. Come into Uttita Trikonasana. Okay, let's repeat it good, Carla. And again, if it's difficult for you to straighten the left leg for whatever reason, then raise the toes up and just be on the heel, or you can put a block there. Okay, here we go. Virabhadrasana 2 again to the left, and Uttita Trikonasana to the left. So use Virabhadrasana 2 to come into Trikonasana like we use Pajra Kunshanasana to come into Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, and then finally come out. All right, now what we're going to do here, if Uttita Pajra Konasana bothers anyone, you can do it on a diagonal or with the foot. We will do it with a chair down the road, so that's why I'm not giving that option now. But you can do it with the foot raised on a block at a wall, okay? So this is an option if your hip bothers you, and your hand is going to come on the inside of the foot, and then you extend the arm overhead. Otherwise, we can do it at a diagonal or just classically. All right, stand in mountain pose. Jump the feet wide apart. Turn the right leg out, left leg in. And again, Virabhadrasana 2 to the right. Okay, now reach out, fill in the gap between the side ribs and your inner right thigh. Take the hand on the inside. So we're bringing the hand on the inside of the foot to open up the right groin. You'll feel it more acutely when the hand is on the inside. If you need a block, it's there, but I don't think anyone needs it because otherwise you can't marry the ribs with the side. These look great, Peggy, great. Okay, now come back to warrior two. We're doing warrior two a lot. Come back to warrior two. Good. Now back to Trikonasana, back to Trikonasana, back to Trikonasana. And you'll see why. And then inhale, up you come. All right, change side. Lindsay, make sure you're okay, Lindsay. I'm on this. All right, here we go. If anyone's having an issue in their hip, in this case, the left hip, do on a diagonal, the whole series on a diagonal, or foot on a block. It may be a little bit more challenging to finesse it. Okay, left side. All right, Virabhadrasana 2-2, Uttita Parshvanottanasana. Notice, and I will say that as we get older, I'm not holding people very long in the standing poses, 30 seconds max. Virabhadrasana 2. Uttita Parshvanottanasana. That now the leg is bent. Good, that's good, Lubna. Remember the buttock flesh moving in to the midline to open that groin. Now from Uttita Parshvanottanasana back to warrior two, back to warrior two. I know it's a little bit harder when the foot is on the block to get that lyrical motion. Now Trikonasana, straight left leg, straight left leg. Well done. Okay, now come up. Now those of you who want to rest, but I don't want you to sit down. If it's possible, take your head down. I'll give you some options here. So you can do the head, the second position of Prasarita Padottanasana, or do dog pose. All right. Dog pose or Prasarita Padottanasana, head down, either one. Some of you find, sometimes the head down bothers people with eye issues, etc. They can get nauseous. So dog pose is an option. Good, Marino. All right, well done. All right, now those of you in dog, walk the feet in. Those of you in Prasarita Padottanasana can come back through concave, think of Upavishta Konasana, and inhale, up you come. All right, so now watch. We're going to take the chair that we use in Parshvanottanasana. We're going to show this all in 3 consecutive moves. So watch. You're going to come into Uttita Parshvanottanasana with foot on chair. And this is what, for people who have hip issues, this is one of the better ways to do Uttita Parshvanottanasana. So I'm going to do this position first. I won't show you from behind, but if you need me to, I will. Then watch. I'm taking my hands. Lubna, this will help you. I'll show it from the back. All right, so we're doing this all together on the right, all together on the left. So I'll just take you through this quickly. So Uttita Parshvanottanasana with right leg on the chair. Then I pitch the trunk forward. Remember this in Marichasana 1 last week. Buttock flesh is moving that way to the wall to open my left groin. All right, then I'll show you something after we do that, another piece. All right, that's enough to work on. All right. You can show me from front or back. Okay, so chair at wall. Good, good, good. So yes, now remember, this is not Parshvanottanasana. You have to back up. You're just duplicating Uttita Parshvanottanasana. So back up your left leg on a diagonal. That's it, Mary Beth. All right, take the first position, hand on the inside. Good, Carla. That's it, beautiful. Side ribs are married to your inner thigh. All right, wait there to open up that groin. All right, now take your right arm underneath the right leg. Let the trunk come forward. Now, good. If you can't reach for the hand, remember what I said in Marichasana 1 last week, right? Take a strap. Now, move the buttock flesh away from your hands, thereby opening that right groin. That's the whole point. Head back. Yeah, peg your head back. Take the head back. It wants to come forward. Don't let it. The chest, it's fine to take the chest forward to get the arm underneath the leg, but then take the head back. Good, Beth. Okay, these look good. And slowly unleash the hands and come back. So think of it, guys, like this. Your hands are clasped or you're holding the strap. Now you have access to move that aerial buttock forward, because what are you attempting to do? Open the groin. So that's the whole point. Because sometimes it's good to know why you're doing something. All right, left leg in front. Here we go. Uttita Parsvakonasana with left foot on chair seat. That's it. Classical pose, the classical shape, coming into it in a good iteration for hips. Pause there, wait there. That's it, Luna. Take the hand down. Yeah, get the knee though, Luna, over the ankle. Hand to the chair. Knee back, groin forward. That's the mantra. Knee back, groin forward. Groin forward, knee back. Now, hook under, but let the chest now come forward. Hook under, use the bell line if you need it. You got it. You can hold, some of you have the fingers. Some of you have your wrists. Otherwise, use the bell marina. Now use your hands to move that buttock, left buttock forward. Left buttock is going forward. Make sure you don't slip off that chair. That's why it's good to have the chair at the wall. So again, left buttock forward, knee back, open the groin, side to side. Very good way to open the groin. Okay, now mindfully, and I really mean mindfully, step in with the back right foot and slowly come out. All right, we're doing one last iteration. Lindsay, I might have you show an iteration with the block. I'm going to see how this goes. So watch. So I'm going to come back to this kind of setup where I'm in Parsvakonasana. And then, just for safety reasons, bring your hand down. And then, watch, I'm stepping back. We were here. Just this is for safety. This is that first Uttita Parsvakonasana. Then watch. Remember what we did in Trikonasana. I had you go from Virabhadrasana to Uttita Parsvakonasana to Trikonasana. Then look, I'm straightening the leg. And then you can have a block, which I wasn't wise enough to take. This would be too high, but point being, I'll put it here. Okay, so I have a block. This is a bolster, and I'm straining the leg, and then I'm in a pose, an arm balance actually called Vishvamitrasana. Your foot doesn't have to be down on this chair seat. It can be, it's more stable that way. It can also be have the heel down and the toes up. All right, so do you see how I came into that? So you're coming into it mindfully from Parsvakonasana, holding the chair, stepping back, hold it, yeah, lean forward. So Parsvakonasana. Then you're holding the chair, you hold it, have the right hand on the seat of the chair, because I've seen people fall out. And then walk back with the left leg, you'll be in Uttita Parsvakonasana. All right. Then you'll do what you've been doing for about 45 minutes. Straighten, that's it. Press the foot if you can, draw up back from the knee to the hip, and the trunk stays in Uttita Parsvakonasana position, angular. That's it, Mary Beth. And then if you want to, you can have your right hand down on the floor on a block on its high side, or the bolster, Lubna. Good. And imagine you were balancing. Your leg was over your arm and you were balancing on that right arm. Vishvamitrasana. Well done. Remember, the trunk is not facing down to the floor, but facing forward. Good, Gail. All right, change sides. If you're not straightening the leg, that's fine. Now, the very best way to come out of it, Betho, is to lean forward, hold the chair, bend the leg, and then inch back in. These are hard poses to not only come into, but to come even more so to exit out of. Left leg is bent, so you're starting in Parsvakonasana. Then you're leaning forward to hold the chair. You're stepping back with your now right foot. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now you have to straighten the left leg. The toes can come up. The heel can come down. Put your left hand on the floor or on the block. You won't hit the floor unless your arms would have to be quite long. Trunk is facing in the direction of the left leg. Good, Marina. Vishvamitrasana. This is all for the groins. Okay, and now come out slowly, walk in. All right, now you're going to do Parsvahasta Padangusthasana. So if you want to do it with the same chair, that's fine with me. You can take your belt. And you're going to place your right leg out to the side. Now, this is a little bit low for me. You can also put the foot, you can use the chair as I'm doing, or you can put the right foot at the wall. We are going to do it freestanding later, so if you need the support, take it now. Yeah, Carla, that's good. So you can, if you were doing it freestanding, then you'll bend the leg, put the belt on, as I'm doing now. And then remember, firming it at the greater trochanter, take the leg out to the side. Parshva Hasta Padangusthasana with wall support or chair support, or freestanding, although we are going to come back to it. That's it, that. So the chair. For many of you, the backrest is too, Lubna, walk in a little bit closer to the wall, is too low. Chest lifted, good. That's it. Marina, that's good. I think for the backrest, for most of you, is too low. Having the right foot at the wall is good. Okay, now come out and change sides. Those look great. Parshva Hasta Padangusthasana, which is basically what we had just done on the chair, that Vishvamitrasana shape. Okay, when you're ready, lift the left leg, put the belt on, and then move that left leg out from the corner of the right hip, keeping the trunk upright. That's good, Luna. Keep the trunk upright. Parshva Hasta Padangusthasana. Supta 2 upright. That's what this pose is. Good. All right, now just absorb the shape of this pose because you're coming to do it on your side now. So what I'd like everyone to do, you could do it freestanding, but I'd like you to be against the wall so that you can feel the wall up against your right buttock when you take the leg up. So you'll be lying on your left side. All right, and against the wall. I'm just not showing you this way, but I want to show you from the back. All right, you're going to take it from some of you came into the previous pose in this manner, and you're going to hold the side of the foot or the big toe. If you can't hold the foot, then use the belt. But I want you to feel against the wall like you felt your hands against your buttock in that iteration of Uttita Konasana. This piece of your buttock should be going forward, right? As the leg comes back. So you're opening the groin. So with your leg up against the wall, you'll feel the wall moving your buttock into your buttock so that the leg comes back and you can thereby open the groin. It seems complicated. It's not. It's just the same principles being used over and over again in the poses. Okay, so with that said, you're lying on your side or not. All right, now take your leg to Vrikshasana. That top right leg, sole of the foot on the inside of the left thigh. Weight there, knee back, groin forward. That's the mantra. Now bring the knee toward the chest. See if you can hold big toe, outer edge of foot, because we're going to the, we're going for the maximum now. We're 3/4 of the way into class, so we got to see if we can hold the foot, use the strap, and then stretch up. Now find out. The leg wants to come forward. Can you move the leg back toward the wall, the buttock away from the wall? So you're opening the groin. Good, Lana. Open the groin. Don't close in that groin. Think of what you did in Supta 2 on your back, which we'll do later. Okay, these look good. If you need the belt, it's there. Open up that groin, side to side. All right, now take the leg down. Do this. I wasn't going to do this, but have your block. We haven't done this in a long time. Try this. Take your block on the medium side like this and do a prone iteration of Anantasana. So I'm putting the block on the medium side right on my inner upper right leg. And then I'm turning the thigh, not so much the foot, although you'll certainly feel that way, inside out to open up the groin. All right, try it that way. You can be on your forearms or your palms can be beside your armpit chest. So have the block on the medium side, not the lowest side, the medium side. It could even be on the tallest side. And then put your palms flat on the floor And now it'll feel like the foot is turning, it is turning, but sense you're moving the leg from the inner thigh to open the groin. So inner to outer, just lying prone. Lubna, now see if you can get the leg at least 90 degrees. It's an Ardha shape, Lubna. Yes, it's an Ardha shape. Yes, Peggy. And turn. So inner to outer. That's it. Inner to outer. Well done. Okay, change sides. So I'm going to do it on the high side to show you. So I'm taking the block, and it's not underneath the knee. Actually, when I was in India, I think Geeta taught this. It's not underneath the inner knee ligaments. It's between the knee and the thigh. So I have to place it that way. There it is. And I'm turning. All right. The block may fall over, especially if your tights are slippery. But see if you can get that leg at 90 degrees to your trunk, not below. Okay, that's it, Lubna. Tuck the toes under the back foot. It will help, Lubna. Tuck the toes under. Yeah, Peggy, you can tuck the toes under. That's it, Beth. And turn the thigh inside out. You might get more. Yes, but make sure, especially on the high side, Beth, that the buttock flesh is not hiking up to the waist. So put your left hand on your left buttock and move it down. Yes, Carly, use your left hand to move the buttock flesh down. Okay, I know we have to go back to Anantasana the other side, which we will, but I just wanted to, this just came to me now, and I thought this could be good because we did do Ardha Chandrasana. Okay, now push out. Actually, do come into a prone dog pose. It'll feel good. Just from a prone position, which you're all in, push the floor away, dog pose. A lot of poses in one class, I realize that. Okay, now come down onto your knees. Lie on your right side, Anantasana. Lana, you okay?
I'm never okay these days. I have to run.
Oh, okay. Bye, Lana.
Bye.
Nice to see you. All right. So Anantasana. Yes. Now, if those of you against the wall, I want you to use the wall to catch that buttock flesh and bring it forth so that when you take the leg up from the Vrikshasana, sole the foot on the inner thigh, that's it, Marina. Now leg up, hold the foot if you can. At least try to hold the foot with the big toe, or hold the big toe or outer edge of the foot, or strap, and then take the leg up. Anantasana, good. And then those of you who are not at the wall, imagine your buttock flesh of the area leg, that buttock flesh coming forward to take the leg back to the wall behind you, thereby opening your groin. Because from here, we're going to the final, as you would expect, an hour in, Supta 2. That's good, Mary Beth. All right, so this, you can see, it's the buttock has to move forward, buttock into buttock. Leg has to move back to the wall to open that groin. Okay, now lie on your back and see what comes in Supta 2. So now we've kind of arrived to where I wanted to be, talking about Supta 2. So there are different ways to come into. The classic way is to decentralize your left leg. And then watch, you see, I kind of turn my foot out like it was turned out in Anantasana, and then I take the leg out. But here's the thing. Yes, it's true, I was holding my foot, but my groin was not as open as it was when I used the strap. So that's what I want you to get with this. If you can, everyone's going to hold the foot, but to realize that we want to hold the foot, and that's why it's so hard to get this pose, to hold the foot, to have it in line with the right shoulder, but not at the expense of bypassing the groin. But we always have to touch the final pose. We can't go on for the rest of our lives never experiencing it. Okay, so here we go. Go out to the side, hold the foot. Okay, yes, start that way, Lubna. And now decentralize the left leg, decentralize your left. Okay, and now take it when you're ready. Now I'm going to show you another way you can come into it. Carly, you might already be doing it from Baddha Konasana. Okay. So we're finally holding the foot. Good, Marina, hold the foot. So you look at your right foot, it's parallel to the floor, and your right hand is in line with your shoulder, like Trikonasana. Good, Peggy. That's it, Beth. Very Beth. Good. So many of you have arrived. Carla, that's really good. Really good. All right, now I'm going to try it a different way. Come back. Don't worry, we'll do the left side. Go to Baddha Konasana. Hold the foot, take it that way, and then outstretch the left. So there's different ways to come into it. Carl, you might, I don't know if you would come into it that way, because it's hard for me to tell from the clothing and the mat. Okay, so coming into it from Baddha Konasana, and then outstretch the left leg. See if that's a possibility. All right, and then come back. Well done. All right, remember, just check in with the foot, see that the toes are not pointing down to the floor. All right, so once again, coming into Supta 2, other side, the classical way, holding the foot, decentralizing the right, and then, so one side might be a lot easier, and then make your study. Now, think about when you were in Vishvamitrasana, think about when you were in Trikonasana, which side was more easeful? So if this side is more easeful holding the big toe to the left, chances are it was more easeful holding Trikonasana to the left, Vishvamitrasana to the left. Okay, these look really good. I'm glad that we've arrived. I was going to have you go back to Parsvahasta, but we'll see. All right, I think we have time to do that. All right, now everyone will come up and stand in Tadasana and attempt to do Parsvahasta, leg out to the side with the belt, but freestanding. Because if ever there was a time to do it, this would be it. And then we'll conclude this chapter and spend the rest of the class working on something else. Okay, so with that said, just pick. So one of the things I just said, if that left side was more easeful, then take up your left leg now. If the right side was more easeful, do the right side. Because this is a challenging pose. Yes, do the side outs first. Hold the foot. If you actually knew, take the belt. And then from the corner of your, those of you who are doing the left leg out, from the corner of the right hip, reach. Those are doing the right hip out, from the corner of the left hip, reach. Those are the only instructions you'll ever need. Mary Beth, that's really good. Make the good, Carla, chest upright. I will say that when you're doing this, those of you who have access to a wall, Carla used to do that, the other house, right? The blue wall, putting your hands against the wall will really help. Beth, you like you're doing. Marina, you can do it against the wall unless that leg cuts in. So if you could be about just standing in front of the wall, so you have the ability to feel the wall, that will help. Remember, the median line of your chest is facing forward. Okay, other side, which is for now, I suspect the more difficult side, because I asked you to do the easier side first. Okay. That's good, Runa. Very good. So remember, if this grows, so Peggy, for you, this is the hardest side. Do you see how the leg is forward? So here's the point. Just sit down for a minute. So ideally in this pose, you rest your legs in Virasana. So you're resting the legs. All right, so I'm going to just show this something, and this is what I showed last week, and I just wanted to get to this point, and then we can move on with something else. All right, so if you have access to a fairly tall counter surface, doing an anterior, so anterior, I have this trestle in front of me, so that I can have fairly good access to my groin. So I really want to get my heel in the final pose aligned with the heel of the bottom leg. As you probably saw, many of you in the final pose, the foot, the left leg or the right leg was forward of the heel. So you had more of a heel toe alignment or a heel arch alignment. So now I'm aligning my right heel with my left heel, thereby opening this groin to its max. And it's nice to have something to press into to do that. It's kind of like that prone Ardha Chandrasana, only the leg is higher. All right, so what I'd like you to be able to do, and you can do it freestanding or at the wall, is today, this will be our final pose, is to bring your leg up to the wall so that instead of the leg being, this right leg being forward, right, is further back. It's like Anantasana, right? When I said take the leg back. So see if you can find a surface where you can work with the leg on top of something and aim to get your right heel aligned with your left heel or your left heel aligned with your right heel. So it's like that Anantasana. So you're bringing the leg back. Why? Because if the groin is tight, the leg comes forward of the hip. That's the whole point. Okay, so see what you do with this, and then we can work with this some other time. And if you're getting tired, Lindsay, you can do some bridges. I'm going to do bridges in a moment anyway. Good, Carla. And then change sides. That's it, Mary Beth. Remember the chest on the median line. So in the final Supta 2, in the final Parshvahasta Panibhushtasana, the leg is in line with the shoulder, same shoulder. And the leg, the heel, it's a heel to heel alignment. So the leg is back, but the buttock flesh is down, which makes it quite challenging if the groin in any way is not open. These are good, really good. Side, good, Peggy. Thigh, standing thigh back. All right, now come down, and just as a counter pose, I'd like you to do some bridges with a block between the thighs or a blanket. The legs will need that after having all that inner thigh work. Okay, so you're on your back. You can put head support, shoulder support, I should say. So some of you who need, if it bothers your neck, put the blanket in this manner. Use the blanket fold for your shoulders. Head is off. So we're doing a few bridges now, Lindsay. The bridges, all right? With the block between the thighs. Go up and down. About 15. Feet are on the floor, head is pressing. If you need to, maybe the 4th or 5th time, bend the arms and press the elbows down. This should feel good after what we just did. Okay, good. Remember, your mission is to get that chest upright. Lift from the posterior chain of the body, the buttocks, the backs of the thighs. Yes. Kick the dorsal spine in. Good. That's it. Do at least 15. Just, I know it's grunt work, but bridging is always good to strengthen the hamstrings. Yeah. Remember the buttocks to the hamstrings and the hamstrings to the buttocks. Good. That's it. Up and down. All right, now we're doing a one-legged bridge, so you can remove the brick. And then you're going to, once again, you can use the blanket. You're going to come up, lifting the backs of the thighs, draw one leg in and one leg up. It can go a little past 90. It doesn't have to go beyond 90, okay? All right, so you're lifting one-legged bridge. Puts more load on the hamstring of the down leg. That's it. So you're loading the hamstring of the down leg. Yeah, see, if you want to use the belt, that's fine, but you don't have to. All right, and then alternate. That's it. Remember, as one leg comes up, the buttocks tend to sink. See, good, Marita. See if you can maintain the height of the buttocks and then take the leg up. Keep the leg up. So you're really loading the hamstring of the down leg. All right. Do a few in that manner. That's good. Now come down, take the block on the high side as we've done. 2 is really nice because it's more supportive.
Your feet will be on the floor. You're going to lift up. You can put the block, we usually put it on the narrow side, but people find this uncomfortable. You can have 2 blocks on the narrow side or put 1 block on the wider side to accommodate the sacrum. And then we're going to see if we can lift the pelvis off the brick. So we're getting higher and higher. See if you can clear the pelvis from the brick on the high side. So you're staying in a supported setu bandha. Blocks can be side by side. So it's a little bit more support. And then lift the pelvis off the brick. See, that's it, Carlos. See if you can, and then hold it. See if you can hold for 5, lift off, clear the brick, hold it, hold it, hold it. Now, can you take one knee in, take one leg up without bringing the pelvis back onto the brick? You got to keep the height in the one-legged, which is challenging. So don't let, when you take the one leg up, don't let your pelvis fall to the brick. Okay. And then change sides. Good, change sides. So you're doing 2 leg, then clear the brick, then 1 leg, clear the brick, which is challenging to clear the brick when 1 leg is up. Okay, now come into Viparita Karani where both legs are at 90. Gail, you were just in it. Yeah, you have to go at 90 degrees. Make this more restful. That's it. Appreciate the legs in that forward bend shape, back body, back bend shape, and just rest there. If you don't like doing it with the block, then do it with more what I'll call soft support with the bolster at the wall. For some of you might find that's more easeful on the softer support. Just legs straight up, or if that bothers anyone's back, go flat with the legs up at the wall. Just flat. Yeah, that's the way, Lindsay, oh, you can do that. Okay. I thought you were going to put the pelvis on it. Just rest there. So Viparita Karani done with block. Usually it's done with block because of space, and when we were back in person, it was hard to find wall space for many people. But now you have your own walls in your room to use. And those of you who are doing Viparita Karani against the wall, like Peggy, you can take the legs from the hip width to a little bit wider in Baddha Konasana as well. Well, I'm glad we got to this lesson. We went through it rather quickly, and I know that we did a lot of poses in a short period of time. But I will say that, and maybe I'm not sorry, Friday I won't be with you. But any point of this pose, any part of this can be practiced for, you can do any section of it for much greater length. But you can see the way it was sequenced. It was all to get to that final Supta 2, holding the foot, and the final Parshvahasta Padangusthasana, where there's that heel to heel alignment, which you can only get when the groin is open. Now, I'd like everyone to slowly come down, press the feet, lift the pelvis up, take the brick out and then put it on its low side. So you make a general gradual transition, take the knees into the chest, and then do child's pose before we do Shavasana. If you prefer to sit, that's fine. So take the Dvipada good. The block is now on the low side. And then you'll do child's pose and use that block. So your pelvis is on the brick now. Feel the spreading of the lower spine, and then bring that to child's pose. Spread the lower spine. And then we'll come into a Shavasana of your choice.
Luna, you can take the arms a little bit out to the side so that, yeah, keep the trapezius moving down. Yeah, arms out to the side is really helpful in this one. Your arms don't have to always go overhead. It's true in the classic way, and certainly when we start classes and dog poses next, we do it that way. But let me, especially for anyone who has any kind of neck issues and or who holds tension in their shoulders and neck. All right, good. Peggy, that's good. Okay, so now we have some time. So we're going to have a nice restful shavasana. Of course, if you need to go, that's fine too. If you need to sit or want to sit in an upright meditative posture, sit in a chair, on the floor. Just observe the state of mind right before shavasana. There's a very different state of mind than at the very beginning of the class, even though you may not feel anticipation or, there's some, the mind tends to be more scattered before the class than it is after the class, and certainly after shavasana. Marina, that's good. Set up in that manner. Yeah. Things are good. Remember how we use the blanket? I called it the shroud, going across the forehead, spreading the skin and moving the skin from the forehead. You can do it with your fingertips. I'm showing it on the screen. So you take your fingertips as your Shamukti Mudra. You move the forehead skin toward the eyelids themselves, right? And then spread again. That's a very nice way of calming the brain. Of course, when the eyes are quiet, the brain can be quiet. And then take the arms out to the side. The actual Shamukti Mudra is a little bit different, where the index finger and middle finger are on the inner corners of the eyes, and the ring finger, I'm doing it now, is right beside the nose, and the thumbs are in the ear holes themselves, and it's like this. And then, of course, you let go of the arms. Okay, just relax there. So I want to give that, again, that one instruction. Sometimes it's nice in Shavasana, relaxation and meditation, to have one instruction only. And that is to step out of the trance, your trance of thinking, planning, judging, doing, becoming, and feel the ground below you. And then I implore you throughout the day, reminding yourself of that phrase, of that gata, if you will, stepping out of the trance of thinking, planning, judging, becoming, doing. It's a way of being more present. It's a way of remembering the now. And the word trance is a wonderful word for it, because it is that. It's just that. It's a trance. It's not the actual what's happening in the present moment. Once again, see if you feel that support of the earth below you, grounding you, bringing a quality of nobility and stability and dignity to your posture. See, over the next few minutes that we have together, if you can, from this stability, move deeper into relaxation. No holding on to anything. Those of you who want to transition to an upright posture can always feel free to do that. Feeling the touchstones now, those of you who have changed posture. Feel that quality of rootedness into the earth, that sense of groundedness, which actually, when you feel the quality of the pose, that part that's touching the earth, it helps you move out of that thinking, planning, judging, doing mode. Feel yourself in connection with the earth below. Again, feel your own nobility, your own dignity. So we have a few minutes, and I think I will end the recording, and feels like a while since we've come together, so let's do that. Now that it's after Memorial Day, the beginning of summer, and if you can stay for a few minutes, that would be nice. I know people have already left, and that's too bad.